Well, hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Nathan Turajski, your host, Senior Director of Product Marketing for Data and AI Governance at Informatica. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Brian Dummann, Vice President of IT and Chief Data Officer at AstraZeneca. What would you say about the skill sets today? Do you think they're at the place you need them to be? Is there that data as well as AI fluency you can rely
Yeah,
upon, or are there different skill sets that need to be up
yeah.
leveled? What would you say about that?
So on the data side, we've always talked about needing data literacy and data fluency, right? But
Mm,
I think that that's true. It probably doesn't touch every employee in the company as deeply. And so we've
mm,
had great programs and investments in upskilling those teams that are a part of creating data or, updating data, maintaining data over its life cycle. And there's still a lot of that are focused on data. I think we probably could do more as I step back, but AI is coming from the other end. Internally, we've actually done something pretty bold. We've created a an optional program for our employees to engage in AI. We call it Thriving in the Age of AI,
mm,
and um, it has been the most subscribed training program that is not a mandatory program
mm.
um, in our history. We have over 17,000 employees now who have gone through a level of training to get a certificate. If you go on LinkedIn, you'll see our employees even posting externally, kind of like
Mhm.
I got my badge for this tech partner or that tech partner.
Yeah.
We see our employees sharing their work to get through this. It's an online training. It's a set of videos and other, articles and documents that they need to review. And a lot of groups have even set challenges that I need to have everyone in my organization get to silver, which is the
Mm,
second level of our training.
yeah.
This is people investing a fair amount of their time learning about AI and what it can do, the effects of hallucination, the regulations, some of the limitations of what we can and can't do. Um, we didn't make all of that mandatory. We will have some components that are required training for employees, but that'll be the very minimum requirements, right? People are embracing this. We've now
Mm,
created new levels of training around AI that are starting to get into specific disciplines,
mm,
partnering with an outside organization to bring some of the how to be the best project manager using AI, right? And
mm,
so we'll start to create this platinum tier of training that is function specific to help people, really think about how to tap into the full power in a given application area. Um, and we see this program ultimately as people go through the levels, creating kind of our ambassadors that are going to be the change agents.
mhm,
Um, but but more importantly, bringing the entire IQ around AI up in the organization. The adoption continues to just explode.
mhm,
Business leaders giving a challenge to their teams, not a mandatory assignment, but saying, I challenge all of you to take this. We've got sites within the company that have hit 100% of certification to different levels, and
mm,
it's exciting to see. So I think it's part of being on the organization committed to continuous learning, but
yeah.
um, this is across all of our employees. We're seeing this uptake. It's incredible to see. And if you think about it, who's gonna write the future AI agents?
Mhm,
Well, it's not gonna be the IT group. In some
mm,
cases, if they're complicated, yes.
mhm,
But it's
mhm,
really about how do we equip people in the front lines of the organization to create some of the, AI agents and provide the directive around that. They're the ones that are gonna manage the AI doing the work with them. And so it's
absolutely.
appropriate, but it's exciting to see that uptick. And I think that that's gonna become a measure of a company's, capacity to take advantage of AI is what's the literacy level, of AI? And in that AI training, we are pulling in some of the disciplines around data that were relevant, right?
Mhm,
But it's a new level of appetite and interest. And I think for everyone out there, whether you're just dealing with data or data and AI, find a way to bring this together because by bringing up the AI literacy, you also bring up data literacy, and use that as the carpet or the coattails to ride on. AI upskilling, really big opportunity, and um, yeah, I'm excited to see what we're going to end up with by the end of this year in terms of people that have reached out and completed certifications. But it
yeah.
would not surprise me if over a third of the company has completed that. And That's a really big deal.
Yeah. So some exciting things I'm hearing from you. So the amount of engagement that you have across your organization is fantastic. The clarity you have around your data and AI governance strategy and maintaining that consistency going forward
Mm,
to empower individuals sounds fantastic. And you also mentioned that you're keeping your options open with a number of different vendors out there that can help enable your future. I want to dig into that just a little bit more. What are your teams reporting back to you, or what are you seeing in terms of those core qualities that you look for that are helping you to implement best practices, achieve your goals? There must be some commonalities that you're starting to gravitate towards that are going to make your organization successful and reach that next level of growth. I'm curious what those might be, and maybe some of the challenges even with some of these tools as they might be even be
mm.
nascent in terms of what you're
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a secret recipe here. I would say that, I mentioned earlier, we're not going to get all of our AI from one partner.
Mm,
Um, and we're not going to get all of our great ideas from just within the organization. So I think, we've come up with some practical guardrails and standards around how we're going to govern AI and trying to keep it as lightweight and simple as we can. Um, I think that we are tapping into our partners, and I mean partners in a broader sense, the ecosystem, in a larger way than I've seen us with any other technology, and partly because it's just so broad. So
mm,
it's not just the big tech partners or our existing vendors that we're working with, but it may be a lot more focus on startups. And so we're
mm,
spending more time with startup organizations, even having sessions with some of the venture capital groups that we have built connections with to understand where their companies that they've invested in are going. We're trying to get ahead and learn. And as we get into conversations with some of these partners, it's incredible what we can learn from each other.
mm.
Academic institutions and looking at research, we've got a lot of partnerships there as well coming together. So I think it's about thinking through where are there some less traditional paths for an organization to partner, and how can we learn from those? The pharma industry, we also learn from our peers. Our
Mm,
competitors are all in the same space. We're not against each other so much as we are against disease,
mm,
and it's a refreshing thing. So we do find a lot more collaboration within our industry maybe than others feel around, what are their competitors doing?
mm.
And we have a chance to share some of our best practices and learnings around that. Um, Maybe the only other thing I'll just say is I think AI is one of these areas where you need to not be afraid to build some of your own things. And I think about our company has a buy versus build. We certainly would buy a solution before we become our own software company.
Mm,
But a lot of the things that you can do with AI are not that complicated. The
mm,
model is already dealing with the complex. Integrating it together is not necessarily a crime or a sin. And I think that um, we've not been afraid to build some of our own things and to experiment more. And I think that's my key message is I think it's okay to experiment a little bit. And certainly within our company, we're given a little leeway for that, right? We don't
that's
need to
awesome.
have the perfect answer and spend 6 months getting the perfect decision of where we should step first. Let's just take the step and let's try and let's learn. Um, so those are some of the new dynamics that are changing kind
Yeah.
of some of the ways that we work. And so hopefully that answers a little bit of the heart of your question. Take
Yeah,
risk.
for sure, and it's just an exciting time, and, one last thing I wanted to ask you before, we close today, just, what are you seeing just in terms of future trends? So you're looking at all these tools, you're playing around with them, your teams are empowered to go out and experiment, without giving away any sort of secret sauce, or any sort of, anything proprietary. What are the things that you're seeing are gonna really change, change the market for you, change like, what are the trends that you're seeing? What excites you about the road ahead that you
Yeah.
can comment on? Yeah.
I'm gonna go a little further down the path beyond just our business, right? I think
Mm,
that each of us need to think about the industries that we're in. And in some cases, we work for companies that are the industry, right? They catch end to end. At least in the pharma business,
mm,
the pharmaceutical manufacturing companies like AstraZeneca are a part of an ecosystem. And depending on the country and where you're at, it's part of a bigger ecosystem. Um, Healthcare in general, I think, is the ripest opportunity for AI to transform healthcare from what today is probably more sick care, right? We treat
Mhm.
a lot of symptoms and we catch things as you find out you have a problem.
Yeah.
I'm most excited about this ability for the healthcare ecosystem to come together, for not just people and systems, but even agents to be able to interact someday with the right controls, with the right governance. To be able to see the front end of like we already infuse a lot of energy into helping improve screening
Mm.
because it's a well-known fact that the better we can get cancer screening early, the better chances we have of, let's say, um, uh, mitigating the effect of it. And so I think that there's a huge opportunity for the healthcare environment as we all embrace the power of what AI can do to come together and really advance healthcare as a whole, to really transform it end to end. And part of that is on us, but part of it is our responsibility in helping to shape the whole industry. We know that sustainability is another priority for the world, and we have a big focus on that within our company. But it's also about helping sustainability of the healthcare system as a whole.
Mm.
If we can make our clinical studies more efficient and more sustainable, or help healthcare practices become more sustainable, we do a lot for the world. So I'm excited about it's not just data, it's how AI and data and transformation can really bring this end-to-end industry that we operate in of healthcare together. And boy, imagine any industry though, and how much we can make it a stronger and more vibrant industry, and more focused on the outcomes that um, the people we serve are looking for.
Yeah.
Um, I like waking up every day thinking about patients and how we can help people, or selfishly, how can I help prevent a problem that I may have by getting early screening? So I'm
Yeah.
counting on this innovation to come together because I think all of us want to live to be a much older age than our parents or our grandparents, and I think it's all sitting here in front of us. We just haven't put all the pieces together yet, but that's happening, and it's happening faster than we think. So that's what I'm excited about. And
Yeah.
for any of you out there on this call, if you play a part in that, um, I'm excited for what we can all do together. So game
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, you painted a fantastic picture. Thanks, Brian. I really enjoyed getting your perspective today, and thanks for joining. I hope also, yeah, the audience can benefit from your insights and help improve their own data and AI readiness in these really exciting times. So, very much a big thank you to you to sharing your views, and really appreciated. And just as a reminder, for more interviews and insights, everyone can visit cdomagazine.tech and get more of this great guidance and insights and help to accelerate your road ahead with data and AI. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.